Hello, how you doing today again? Welcome to another episode of Ubuntu and Open Source. Today I'd like to talk a little bit more about my Q4OS with the XP Q4 theme. You can see I have my H-top here running. It actually has 4 gigs of RAM. But as you can see, it's showing to use 482 megabytes. And that's with Simple Screen Recorder running and my file browser here running. So the memory usage may not be that big. It's not even using any kind of swap right now. But as you can see, the CPUs are, it's a Core 2 Dual, are running crazy. Which is fine, as long as the system can run fine. But I took a few screenshots here. This one's of the fresh boot. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that. And I don't know if you can see it that well. Let me see if I can go to full screen. Yes, I can. There we go. On a fresh boot, and you can see that it's only been running. I just booted it up. As soon as I booted it up, I took a screenshot. And this is what the H-top showed. 258 megabytes of RAM being used. Not even 1% of each CPU being used. I wish it would show an uptime. But that's okay. So as you can see, the Trinity desktop environment, even with the theming, does not use very much RAM at all. So then I wanted to see what it would show for if I just had a browser running along with H-top. It only went up to 293 megabytes of RAM. And still the CPUs were pretty much idle. I thought that was great and fantastic. And so then I wanted to see what Firefox would do when I booted it up, when I started it up. And this is where it went up some. The CPU started to show work. It went up to 542 megabytes of RAM. And that was just getting one site up, Google site up to search. And so let me show you what I have as far as my system goes. Yes, this is the one I want. System info. So for the summary, you can see I have Intel Core 2 Dual E6550 at 2.33 gigahertz. Now, if for some reason it wants to show 600 megabytes of RAM being used out of the 4 gigs that are available, well, it shows 2.83 8 gigs. And as I said before, Q4OS is built on Debian. Now, the Linux kernel it's using is 4.9.0. It's a 64-bit version. I want to come down here to the DMI. This talks about the motherboard. I don't know if you could remember some of my previous videos with iNick, that the BIOS date is July 12, 2007. The BIOS version is 1.0.3. And the board name is 0CU409. You can see the vendor is Dell Computers. And so is the BIOS. It doesn't bring out the model number, but it is a Dell Vostro 200 with 4 gigs of RAM. Doesn't want to bring up any storage. How unique. No batteries found, no printers found. I am using a solid state Kingston 120 gigabyte hard drive. Let's see if it brings it up. Nope, it doesn't bring it up in here. Let me see about the other system information. Oh, that's the one I just had. My bad. When I tried this one, it didn't show very much. Gives a host name Q4OS-desktop. That's what the installation gave it. If I had a choice, I would have chose Dell Vostro 200, I mean. Talks about CPU, 2 CPUs, memory, swap, storage, still no hard drive information. Hardware, ISA bridges, IDE interface. You can see it's using the SATA port. Other than that, it doesn't tell me like other applications would say that was a Kingston SATA drive. Brings up the NVIDIA GeForce 8400. It's integrated sound, but it shows that an NVIDIA card has a sound port, as well as the motherboard. That one right there. Ethernet controller is integrated. as you can see by that right there. So, Q4OS is pretty good on old hardware. Come July, this hardware, this motherboard and the CPU and this, other than the new peripherals that I put in, like the NVIDIA GeForce 8400, it's all pretty well standard, stock. I maxed out the RAM to 4 gigs on the motherboard. As you can see, even idling right now with just simple screen recorder running, the RAM usage is still pretty low. It's under 500 megabytes, 491 megabytes currently. Just jumped up to 92. But it's pretty robust in that it's low on memory usage and resources. Using solid state hard drive makes a huge performance increase. And of course, maxing out the RAM helps too. So if you really have someone that you know that has an old computer that's 15, 17 years old, this one's going to be 18 years old come July. I'm sorry, 11 years old. It's 10 years old now. It'll be 11 years old come July because it was released in 2007. And so July will make this hardware 11 years old. All the stock parts, that is. The motherboard, the CPU, etc., 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 will be 11 years old. So if you have someone that has a pretty old computer, that all they need to do is browse the internet, do email, nothing that requires Microsoft Office or anything like that, even though this does come with LibreOffice as its Office suite. And how much are we using just doing that? So you have simple screen recorder running, plus LibreOffice, and a file browser. Just over 500 megabytes of 547 megabytes, 550 megabytes right there. Jumped up a little bit. You have a pretty decent system with decent performance. So if you have someone that just needs to web browse, type something up and print it out, or something that's really not, that doesn't need to be cutting edge state of the art technology just to get things done, this is a pretty decent operating system with, for the age of the computer, good performance too. So Q4OS, give it a try. Thank you.